everybody, Kim here with Little Biz Resources, and this is part 2 of our keyword research little mini series, and we're going to specifically talk about how to figure out what keywords relate to me. And this is for mostly for those who don't know like how to find keywords that are related to them, or for those of you who are looking to expand even more into additional keywords. Now, part 1, we did talk about how to identify additional keywords. That's when you do know your core keywords, and we used Google Keyword Planner and Keywords Everywhere. Now we're going to expand on that a little bit, and this is where it's kind of like you can still go back to the first one once you figure out some keywords if you want to keep doing that. But in this part, what we're going to do is pretend like we have no idea, or maybe just a tiny idea of what keywords relate to us, and we want to expand that so we can find more. So in this case, I was using dog collars, and we used the keyword planner to find some ideas here. But you know what? Maybe we don't know if dog collars is really right for us, right? So what we could do is we could say, hey, you know what? My site is like a certain site. Now, typically, you know this from, you would type in dog collars because that's what you're doing. But maybe we're going to do dog supplies. I don't know what else you would type in if you don't know what you're doing, but dog supplies. And in this case, again, for those who missed part 1, this is from Keywords Everywhere. This shows you the volume, the cost per click, that's for ads, and then competition, that's for ads as well. Then Keywords Everywhere also shows you the trending, plus they'll give you keyword. This is a trending keyword. This is the trend for the period of time. So like 12 months, here's 5 years. And you can see that's actually increasing over time, which is not really a shocker. Then you've got related keywords and people also search for. Now in your search results, for those who saw part 1, you'll notice that ads stayed the same, but this one had local come up a lot sooner. In fact, I've got that one right here, dog collars. Local did not come up next, right? In fact, it comes up way down here. So that's kind of variable, and I can't tell you if there's a specific time it does come up or doesn't come up. And I suspect that this will vary based on the searcher. So if the searcher really searches for local stuff all the time, they're probably going to get shown local results, all the time. This is part of the reason why it's really difficult to predict your search engine optimization strategy for ranking. But you still need keywords regardless of where you are. So let's say we were going to go with dog supplies, and we've decided that, oh, hey, you know what? Maybe this chewydog.com is good for us. Now, there are 2 ways that you can do this. The first one is to go to the site. You can probably go to a specific page if you wanted to, but if you have no idea and you just kind of want to see everything on this page, you can just right click, make sure you're not like on a picture or something. And then this is the Keywords Everywhere symbol, and you can say analyze this page. And when you analyze the page, I do not need to purchase credits. It always says that. I don't know why. It's pulling up, Keywords Everywhere is pulling this up. And what they're going to do when it starts going is that it's going to start pulling out words. Now, I'm going to tell you now, some of these words aren't necessarily related, right? Chewy. First of all, the fact that there's 3.3 million searches for the word chewy makes me question people in the world. Like, why are you typing in chewy? But that could be, again, that's just something that it's a Google number usually. Keywords Everywhere pulls data from multiple places, but primarily from Google Keyword Planner. The reason why we need Keywords Everywhere and we can't just use the Keyword Planner is because most of us aren't running ads, or if you're not running ads, you can't get the search volume. And we talked about that in part 1. So we are going to look at this and say, okay, well, there's a lot of people using chewy, but I don't think that really relates to me. But I can go and say, well, there's dog supplies. Okay, what else could be in here? Ooh, best dog supplies, right? Best dog products. I mean, we could do a combination of these, and there's treats. So we could use products. We could, if we have beds would be a good one. Treats, training, if we have training available, etc. So you can keep going through here, and this will give you an idea. Colors is on here. It's really sad that still that many searches for just the word colors, but since I think both cats and dogs and many other animals and even humans all target colors, that's kind of too broad of a term. So you would definitely want to make sure you put dog collars in there. Harnesses, same thing, dog harnesses. Potty, same thing, dog potty, right? So you would want to make sure that you put these in there with the word dog if you're targeting dog. Now you can go through and see a lot of these are to give you an idea. This is just from the competition. So I'm not positive how this relates, and I haven't done a side by side, but there's 1,304 words. Let's use the same exact site, which this is really bad that they use that way, but it works for them. So we're going to use the same URL, and we're going to go over the keyword planner. This is another way to do it. So if you didn't see how I got into this and you want to know how, check out part 1. Instead of starting with keywords, we're going to discover new keywords, but instead of starting with keywords, we're going to start with the website. And we're going to type it in there. Now again, in order for me to get accurate search volume, since I'm not running ads, as you see here, none of your ads are running, I will need to use keywords everywhere. Otherwise I won't get a search volume, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So now you can choose entire site or just this page. We're going to do just this page so it's an equal comparison. I'm going to say get results, and we'll see how many Google decides are related to it. And it only comes up with 498. So now you can see why I like to use both of these. So this one came up with, what did I say, 1,304, right? And then let's go back to here if I can find the right one. And you can see now these are a bunch of different keywords as well in here. And they said there's 498 keywords available. Now this right here, this volume, CPC, comp, and trend, that's from Keywords Everywhere. Google tells me, for example, this chewy dog, 18,100 is the search volume. But really, that's what Keywords Everywhere tells me. But Google tells me it's 10,000 to 100,000. I could easily get misled into thinking that this was 90,000 searches a month. Oh, that could be 90,000 searches a month when it's closer to the 10,000 range, right? That's a big difference. Big difference. So I like Keywords Everywhere, especially if I'm not going to be running ads, because it lets me see the search volume. And again, I mentioned this in part 1, but it's such a cheap expense. It's $10 I've paid for the entire year so far. It gives you 100,000 credits. Each keyword is a credit. You can go through that quickly, but they also have plans, higher plans. If we want 50,000 keywords, it's whatever amount. And you can always top yourself off. If you run out, you can buy $10 more and it lasts for a year. So that's, to me, especially when you're starting to do, most people, especially most people who follow Little Biz Resources, they're not doing high volumes of keyword research, right? We're doing it in spurts. We're saying, hey, we're doing this content. Let's do some research on it and let's go. So those are 2 different ways that you can go to a competitor's page, right click and use Keywords Everywhere, or you can go find your competitor, use their entire site if you want to. So if here's a good one that's for me, right? So Neil Patel, he has, I'm going to find it. He has, I want the blog. I cannot remember how to get to it. Okay, here we go. Here's the blog. So, and I'm going to tell you that I do have kind of a pet peeve about people who offer SEO services writing about SEO, because I question their methods. Like, he has some great ideas, don't get me wrong, but I do question some of the stuff they say. Like, I know there was one article I read, he was talking about content, all the stuff you had to do. I'm like, no, you don't. So anyway, so this one's how to build a conversion funnel that will triple your profits. Now for this case, I wonder if I can do it without this. Well, we'll just do this whole thing. Let's come back here and we'll go back to discover new keywords, and we're going to start with a website. Type it in there. I'm going to use the entire site since a lot of what he does is related to what I do. And I'm going to say get results. I'm going to see. Sorry, I have a bug flying around me again. This is just like our live Q&A the other day, right? So it's probably the same one. It is a fly, for the record. Okay, so we've got Neil Patel Digital Marketing, and there's 1,786 keyword ideas available, right? And so if I come here though, and I were to go into this one, and I were to right click and say analyze this page, you will see, now you'll also notice that some of the words that come up in Keywords Everywhere are kind of silly, right? Like chewy on that other one was kind of silly. And I would suspect that chewy isn't going to come up on, I wiped that out already, but isn't going to come up in Google, in the Google Keyword Planner, simply because they know that that's not exactly related. But I don't know. That's something you have to do a manual comparison. But you don't want to miss out on keywords either, right? So how to is a silly keyword to include, right? I mean, great. Yeah, how to's got a lot of different searches for it, but how to is too vague. And so that's a silly keyword to separate out. But now you can do where you have, you can do some filters here where it says show all keyword phrases or ones with 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 words. So that's an interesting way. You can also, I think you can do it from up here because we're in it. So we're in Keywords Everywhere. So we can export it as an Excel. We can copy it. We can export it as a CSV, a PDF, or we can even print it, right, if we wanted to do that. So triple is another word. Triple is not one that I would necessarily include as a keyword option, right? And this is where triple your profits was one that he did. That's part of the title in it. So triple your profits is in the title. How to build which is interesting but not helpful. And this one is how to build a conversion funnel, etc. So you can see where they're breaking it out and they're doing all this. And you can see the monthly volume is 0 for these. So there's a lot of silly keywords that come in. But it's, again, it's one of those where if I were to come back here and do, we'll do the whole thing again. And we're going to use, did I say the entire site the last time? I guess must have, right? Entire site. Yeah, so I can do that. So concepts of digital marketing. And so this will give me more ideas on keywords. Now we're going to talk about in part 3, how to identify more profitable keywords. And this is where we're going to talk more about CPC and the importance of that, because you can see here 0 versus what. And so we're going to talk about how we look at that in different ways that we can incorporate specifically those words into our content. All right. So that's it for this one. Again, if you are looking for additional ways, we kind of covered a little bit of Keyword Planner here. There is one additional method. In fact, before we jump out of it, let me tell you that one. It's Answer the Public. So Answer the Public, the reason why I kind of forgot about this one is because you can only do like 1 search a day or something without being on a new IP. Oh, bug attacking me again. So really what you want to do is think long and hard about the word you want, but you want it as high level as possible. So in this case, you might want, if you're doing shoes, you might want shoes. If you're doing dog supplies, you might want dog supplies. In our case here, let's say that we're going to do marketing, right? So we want to make sure, go back to here. First of all, if you're in the US, change it to US first before you hit search. Because once you get 1 search, that's it, right? I think it might be 1 or 2. I can't remember. So we're going to do, I'm going to actually do digital marketing because I don't want to accidentally get some stuff that's off of online, right? So I want to be online only. So digital marketing, or maybe I'll do online marketing since that's a different way of looking at it, right? That's a different angle of the keyword. So I'm going to say search. And in this one, again, I have Keywords Everywhere attached. So it's going to give me search volume that I wouldn't normally get. Now, again, you have to take it in with a grain of salt, because in this case, what it's doing, the Answer the Public is doing, is it's going through and it's looking for Google recommended phrases based on a variety of things. And there's actually a tool I have that does the same thing. And you could combine it with, and we'll talk about that another time, but you could combine it with keyword ideas. In fact, I might show you it real quick in just a second. But, you know, who can do online marketing? How can we do online marketing? How can start online marketing? And so they went through and got all these words. Now, when you scroll over them, assuming I have it turned on, it'll show you the, and I don't know if you can see that on the recording or not, but what online marketing do, which was a really horrible one for me to scroll over. It shows the search volume, the CPC, and the competition. Now, I can also scroll, if I scroll all the way down, I'm going to scroll fast. I can come down here. What? Okay. I can come down here and see where it says like online marketing quotes, and it has, this is from Keywords Everywhere here. So this is a really good tool, and you can use, I'm not sure if you can see this part here or not, but there's this little box down at the bottom. It does move around, which I swear it would never move around before, but now it does. So yay. And you can export as a CSV. You can say add all keywords and then export CSV. And so you can get them all. So like if I want to do that, and then I can just say export as a CSV. You can see they're all highlighted now. And then it exports it as a CSV with all that data in it for me for later, right? That's a really, really, really good tool for that. You can also download a CSV. That's just the keywords in the CSV format, but you can also save these images. And I think this download CSV is from Answer the Public. Let's see what that one is. Let's see what that one looks like compared to the other one, which is the same thing. So basically these are all just the phrases without the search volume. So you could do that first, narrow it down, and then take just the keywords you want and stick them into Google Planner. And then that would save you how many ever credits, or you could just do it the way I do it and just download the whole thing. Right, so there's that one. I have one other thing. Let me pull it up real quick. It's similar to Answer the Public, but it's a one, instead of paying, like if you were to try to come in here and pay for this one, let's see here. Do they have the pricing here? It's like $100 a month or something. It starts out on here, right? So let's say upgrade to Pro. And yeah, so $99 a month, or you can pay $1,000 or $950, and it turns out to be $700 or $79 a month. But there's another tool I have is similar to that. And let me go ahead and pull this. Sorry, I got a lot of stuff up. Pull this over. It's called Power Suggest Pro. I'll have a link in the description if you're interested. And what this does is something very similar. So if I wanted to say online marketing, I could like put an asterisk. I could either do that, and you'll see where it says online marketing A, online marketing B, online marketing C. I could run that, and I could run it for Google, YouTube, Yahoo, Amazon, eBay, or Bing. Now in this case, I'm fine with those. eBay and Amazon are more e-commerce, so I'm not too worried about that. So I'm just I could search it like that, or I can even do like I put an asterisk there, and so instead it will be A something online marketing, B something online marketing, right? And so I'll search this way. So a study on online marketing, a study on online marketing project, and see 4-H online marketing concept. Doesn't make any sense to me, but it may mean something, and it probably does, since it's 4-H online marketing mix. I think this is weird. I think that's what it is. Is the 4-H thing's throwing me for a loop, since I sell 4-H fabric, and it's just, that's what's on the brain. So here's free online marketing courses, Australia free. Now, so what these are doing is when you go into Google search, and it's going to take me forever to pull that up, but if you go into Google search and you're typing it in, Google will auto suggest phrases, and those are more common phrases. So they won't necessarily have a search volume because they're happening now, right? So it's one of those, if you want to get on something that's trending right now, this is how you do that, is with something like this. So you can do Answer the Public, which costs you a lot more. You can do a query a day, or you can do something like Power Suggest Pro. It's a one-time cost. It's like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 bucks. I can't remember. If you click on the link, you'll see the price. And that one is one that I like. This one, I use this a lot. And you can export this and run it through Google Keyword Planner, or with or without keywords everywhere, right? And we'll do a video specifically on that one day. But for now, if you're interested in that, the link will be in the description. All right, so part 3 is coming up, how to identify more profitable keywords. And this is specifically for those who are trying to make money using ads. And this would be obviously related to like AdSense. And that's because if people are paying more per click, you make more money. So we'll talk more about that in the next part.